Just joining us, it's the 2025 AAC Swimming and Diving Championships live on the Southeast Sports Network. Got the whole KAQ here with me. I'm Gabriel Schrei, and glad to have you on SESN.
Well, thanks for having us. We're glad to be here. We're getting ready to send the 1650 men off the blocks. And here we go for the men's 1650. I want to say that lane 5, Peter from Milligan, he's a junior. He placed first in the 1650 last year in 2024. Again, he's going to have a fight to fight because lane 4 is a freshman. So this is the first time he's ever swimming up against this freshman, and he might have to use a little bit different of a tactic than he did last year to where Peter in lane 5 can, you know, again, claim that win like he did last year, but can he do it?
You'll notice again, you know, this is a 1650, but, you know, to set up your pace and where you want to be, once you get into the race, you still got to be out a little quick that first 50 and first 100. If you start off too slow, you're not going to be able to snap into that pace that you want to get into and settle into.
Definitely, and it looks like lane 5 and 4 are going to kind of stick together here, and then it looks like lane 3 and lane 6 are also going to kind of stick together and hang out. They can definitely see each other side to side. I mean, they are using that peripheral vision to be able to see where are my opponents at in the water, to be able to either stay in the lead or to try to catch them and race them. Very, very nice turns.
Guys, this freshman in lane 4 is just nuts. He just got to the whole conference here.
Yes.
It's his first year making it all the way to the conference tournament and competing. What does he do? Day 1, he breaks the 500-yard men's freestyle. Just incredible. Incredible
Athlete, definitely a distance swimmer. You know, swimming the 500 and then now swimming the 1650. Again, this is definitely his focus. It's his discipline, and he does well at it.
Yep, he does. And you may notice too, he is swimming on the far side of his lane, away from his competitor to his right in lane 5, to prevent any kind of a draft getting picked up there to kind of help his competitor along. So another strategy and chess match and game within swimming there.
Yes. Very nicely done. Good turns off the wall, good underwaters. They're breaking out right at that flag, which is nice. We have our counters down at the end. Again, those counters are used to where we can, the swimmers can pace off of them. They're telling them, hey, you're good. They go up and down and shake that counter up and down, telling them to speed it up. And if they wave it side to side, they're saying, hey, you need to slow it down. You're using way too much energy at this point. And we will see them use that tactic throughout this 1650.
So far, pacing-wise, Abel looks like he's settling into his pace that he may want to hold for this 1650, around the 28-29 second barrier for each 50. We'll see how that plays out. And the one next to him from Milligan looks like he's settling into that 29 mid or 29 high for his pace.
And that's Gilbert, who won the event last year, and they're pretty much neck and neck, just a length between them.
Yes. And again, it's going to go back and forth. I mean, even though he is about a body length ahead, again, he's able to catch him. I mean, we still have a far way to go in the 1650. Leader can shift, just like we saw with the women, you know, lane 6 taking over lane 3 about halfway mark. So again, right now, there's no promises. And it's just going to be a fight between these two as we come down to the very end of this race.
Just kind of still keeping contact out of Steven in lane 6 with Abel there, excuse me, lane 5. Just staying in contact, keeping him close. You know, maybe you got a stronger kick on the back half here. You know, you never know.
And I mean, even in lane 3 and lane 6, we still have a fight too going on. I mean, those two swimmers are also close in lane 3 and 6, about a body length between each other. He's right on the heels of lane 3. And again, that could shift here and go back and forth. Will the Union swimmer in lane 3, who's also a freshman, be able to hold out that pace or will lane 6, a junior from Milligan, be able to take him and catch up to him?
Notice with Abel still, he's got a nice good tempo, good turns off of each wall, solid kick coming off the wall. And you'll notice his legs kind of relax, going the rest of the way towards the other end, saving those legs for later in the race.
Very good job with these boys. The big thing, so with NCAA rules, the only way that somebody could possibly be disqualified at this point, because they're all in the water, is if they just stop swimming and get out. So as long as they can finish it out and swim, I mean, they could roll over on their back and start swimming backstroke if they wanted to. Because again, it is a freestyle event. You can swim whatever stroke you really want to. As long as they finish out and they touch every single wall with some type of body part, they're good. They will be no violations. And that's the good thing about freestyle events, is it's very hard to get disqualified. Does it happen? Absolutely. But right now, we shouldn't see any violations happening at this point. They just have to swim and focus on what they are doing right now. And lane 3
yeah, we're
is
gonna start watching lane 3. He is
growing his, distance from lane 6. Again, another freshman in the water.
That's Torok, Union Bulldog. UCU could sure use the points on the men's side especially.
Yes, if he can claim some points for Union, that will definitely help Union going into this finals night here in Kingsport.
Yeah, those two in that race for that second place are kind of splitting even right now, 50-50 if I'm watching it here. So we'll see how things play out. If one gets a little bit faster, they may catch up a little bit more, but it looks like Stevens pulled away a little bit from lane 3 here.
If you're just joining us, we're talking about Torok, the true freshman for the Union Bulldogs in lane 3. Abel Zenyi, who's got a commanding seat time, 15:55, also a true freshman for the Union Bulldogs. And Peter Gilbert, who won the event last year, he's in lane 5.
Abel is, killing it. He has grown that distance. He is more than half a lane ahead of his closest competitor, which would be lane 5, Peter. Peter won this race last year in 2024. He's doing a great job. He will definitely, be able to claim a spot on the podium with what he has created. But again, we got to keep our eye on lane 3, because right now lane 3 still has that possibility of catching up to lane 5 and catching Peter in this. We still have ways to go in this event. We're close to halfway point at this point. But again, still a lot of swimming to do.
And just to speak to what Abel's doing here, if he can hold his pace and break 16 minutes in the 16:50, that's a very notable barrier for swimmers. If they can get under that 16 minutes, that means they're averaging and holding under a minute per 100, and over 16 100s. That's a very impressive feat. So we'll see if he can hang on and get under that 16-minute barrier.
And again, his seated time right now is 15:55.93. He has a provisional cut for nationals, but we are looking at, can he get a national cut, which would be a 15:53.98. He has to drop about 2 seconds to be able to clinch that national cut if he would like to go in the 16:50. Definitely still looking strong. Really nice underwaters. He's definitely coming past the flag mark in his underwaters. Very strong arms, long. He's not kicking as much, but we will see that possibly pick up here in the next couple of laps he does.
Yeah, he's really carrying his momentum very well through his turns, helping springboard him back towards the other wall after each turn. Very important. The further you get off the wall, the less strokes you're going to take per 25, and that's very important on a long race like this.
And lane 3, again, doing a really great job. He definitely has lane 5, Peter, in his view. He is looking at him. You can kind of see how he's picking his head up, not directly sideways, but kind of lifting it a little forward. I think he wants to be able to see, where am I at? How far is he from me? And he's racing. He's trying to catch him. And doing a very good job with it. I mean, he's closing that gap as we come into this next turn for him.
On that last 50, he did outsplit Peter in lane 6 by just a little bit. So his tempo's increased and his speed is going. We'll see how this plays out here over the last little bit of the race.
And suddenly it feels like Milligan really needs Peter Gilbert to pick it up. Like they really need to not lose these points. These are big points.
Yes, these are big points. I mean, Peter needs to be able to pull through on this and clinch that second spot on that podium. But can he do it? We will have to wait and see. The positive thing with Milligan is, I mean, they have 5 swimmers in this event alone. So even if Peter's not able to pull out that second spot on the podium, again, getting 3rd place is not going to hurt Milligan whatsoever. They all will get points. That's just the depth of their team. Over 50 swimmers on their roster is absolutely amazing to have. For a swim team, I mean, just any team in general.
Yeah, that's a very big NAIA school for a swimming team to have that many swimmers on it.
Yes. Peter's still looking very good. I mean, he's able to hold off lane 3 enough just to where he's not able to catch him on his heels. We do not, Peter doesn't want lane 3 to be able to catch up or be on his heels, because that's just where it gets closer and he has to swim a little bit harder. Abel is still killing it in lane 4. I mean, absolutely crushing it right now. I don't even think I could walk a 50 as fast as he's swimming it right now. Definitely gonna need a nap after this one.
Yeah, he's still holding strong with this pace, right around 28 high, 29 low. So we'll see where he ends up here. That's pretty close to that 57 average per 100 that we were needing to see, not only for the record, but maybe a NAIA national cut this evening.
And I mean, for Union to be able to put a swimmer that is so talented and so fast in an event like this, I mean, it is going to help their team significantly, being able to grab those points, because Union can definitely use the points. And they definitely have a great swimmer in the pool, and they, right next to him is his teammate as well. Lane 3 is also a freshman from Union.
It does. If you're a good distance swimmer and you're a freshman, that's usually what you're going to find your spot in as a collegiate swimmer. Even if distance isn't your thing coming into college as a freshman, that's maybe where you might end up, just depending on how the roster shakes out and where you're needed to be. But like we've said all along, these freshmen are coming in and performing at very high levels during this.
They are, and it looks like lane 3 has actually lost his cap in the pool. Sometimes we'll see that in distance events where you're just swimming so much your cap might slip off. A lot of swimmers will actually double cap, and they'll wear 2 caps just to make sure that they have that extra protection, because again, his hair is causing some type of drag with him. It might be, if his hair is long enough, it could actually be getting into his face, causing some just visual impairment, which is not what he wants. But again, he's still doing a really great job. Don't know if he'll be able to catch Peter, because Peter has definitely widened that distance between him a lot.
Yeah, Peter's definitely picked up on his pace.
Really great job going into that turn for Abel. I mean, it doesn't even look like he has been swimming as long as he has been. We're about 13, almost hitting the 14-minute mark of this race right now.
So Abel is under 200 yards here to go. So he's got 2 more 100s of our pool here in Kingsport to finish up his 1650.
What an amazing performance.
Yes, I mean, and honestly, kudos to every single swimmer out there that ever swims a 1650. It is a hard event to swim. It is a long event, 66 lengths of a 25-yard pool, 33 laps. I mean, it is a daunting event. You definitely have to be focused and ready for it if you're swimming it.
His lead is just colossal. His time he's going to post is.
Yes.
How do you compete with that?
I mean, it's definitely hard. I mean, looking at his seated time, we knew coming into this that he was going to have a very good lead. Not by this much, but I mean, he's just absolutely ripping through this water right now. And I am very interested to see what his time will be. That split 50 that he just did was a 29:17. He's been able to pretty much hold that, I believe.
Pretty close to that all through his race, and he's on his last 100 here.
And I mean, he is kicking it into gear.
Yep, you can definitely see the tempo's picked up. He is kicking a little bit more than what he was before. So we shall see what his last 100 here is.
And we have Bruce down there, our starter for this meet, using that bell to tell him, hey, last 50, let's pick it up. You can go as fast as you want, and that red card is in. And this is his last 25. Let's bring him home.
Nice strong kick, good tempo coming in. Wow, he's going to have a very impressive swim here. 15:48 was his final time overall.
Very, very nicely done. I mean, that last one was a 26 split. Final time was a 15:48.43. That definitely clinched a spot for him at Nationals, and he just got a national cut.
That crushes the record.
Yeah, it crushes the record.
Crushes the record, yes. I mean, very nicely done for Abel in lane 4, and Peter just hit the wall.
Wow.
In second place.
Sorry, we had an outside smoke there end up in third place that we kind of lost track of there.
Yes, Milligan, a freshman, Morgan, just came in out of nowhere in lane 1. I mean, absolutely crushed his time. His seated time was a 16:07, and he just went a 17:07, and he just went a 16:20.
Wow.
I mean, that's almost a whole lap.
Very impressive swim there out of lane 1. But again, looking at entry times so far, it looks like everybody has improved on their time that we have seen so far.
Very nicely done. Again, Abel in lane 4 just crushed the record for this men's 1650. He also just got him a national cut in the 1650. Absolutely amazing swim. Very well executed.
Yeah, he was hitting his times, and again, if you go back and look at it, that last 50 was a 26.9 out of him. His last 100 would have been at a 54 if I'm doing my math right in my head real quick, and his first 100 was a 51. So that's very good to be able to be within 3 seconds of your first 100 and last 100. That's kind of what we shoot for in the distance world, bringing it back as strong as you took it out.
Very well done. I'm very impressed. I mean, all those men just kicked it out of the water. It looks like we're getting ready. A couple guys lost their caps, and they had to go get their caps out of the pool, but now we're getting ready for the women's 200-yard backstroke, our first heat.
So we'll have 4